Hey everyone, Jim D. Graham with RCGroups.com here today with some news. It is 9/14/2023, September the 14th. There's a few things I want to talk about, and I'm going to try to keep it quick. I want to keep it down to a coffee cup worth of time, but things that you probably should be aware of. This is the biggest news. The AMA update. This went out in a marketing email. I've called it mass email marketing email, but it is an email that features things that I think are important. We'll talk about how to subscribe to that later. I might put a link down in the description below so you can stay up to date with that. But it is the update from the AMA, and that is, we're going to click on into this feature. That from the, I was contacted by Lee from the AMA, and he said, "Hey, have you seen this?" And big thanks for the early heads up on that. As the AMA anticipated, the FAA has announced they are extending the remote ID enforcement date by 6 months. Operators now have until March 16th before they will have to comply. So this says a few things to me. And one of the things that it says is that we don't have to worry about this right now because they can't implement it right now, which was obvious to everyone. And kudos to the FAA for saying we have to push this, because that's good. But the second part of that is if they pushed it once, they very likely might push it again. So what I'll do is keep you informed if there's things we need to do or anything that we need to write or send or, just make happen. And I just keep hoping that they keep pushing this thing until they think they can handle it, which when will that be? Maybe not soon. So that is good to know. Go ahead and don't sweat that right now. Just as far as things that have come in today, the S250 smart charger from Spektrum just released today. So you can go check that out. And this feature article, we talk about the features and specs and look at all the things. Everyone loves a charger. And that's just based on watching people click on things on RC groups over the years. We have a battery cell at CNHL, so be sure and click that and check that out. Also, I want to talk about this. These are two great companies, Hi-Tech and Legend Hobby. They have joined up to help sponsor the Bomberfield 35th Annual B-17 Gathering and Big Bird Fly-In. Hi-Tech has donated a lot of cool raffle stuff, and they're also celebrating their 50th anniversary. Big kudos to Hi-Tech. I will be eating dinner with them here in Nashville. Some of the Hi-Tech crew just happen to be coming through town, so tomorrow night I'm headed out with those guys. And Legend Hobby, a company that always has really cool airplanes. They're always, I know how much work it takes just to do what I do. I can't even imagine how much work it takes to keep a company like Legend Hobby sending planes, taking orders, but then creating all the new stuff that they do. It's amazing. So I want to read a little bit. Hi-Tech says we're excited to announce that we're sponsoring this amazing event. We've sent over some awesome gear and 50th year swag. Legend wants to say a huge thank you to Hi-Tech. They list all the things that they sent, and then I've put together this whole piece of event info, a link to the actual site at Bomberfield and everything else. So be sure and check that out. Kudos, big deal. Jason Cole likes to feature airplanes that crash because everyone loves crashing planes. Be sure and check that out. And What the Heck Wednesday, they come out every Wednesday. It's a coincidence. And we have other news. I want to talk about TDRC. Chad and I seem to enjoy antiques, old guitars, old trucks, and RC. So we always have a lot to talk about. He called me up a while back, about a month ago, maybe a little more. And he said, I have to tell you something. I'm bringing back Teldragger RC. This was a big name in the 3D giant scale world, and they kind of faded off, but they are back. And so this is just one of my features talking about some of the things you can currently purchase. They're gearing up. And with that, let's click here. Yep, it's working. Beautiful. Had a little technical issue before. This is their site. And so if we scroll up, this is cool. I got to sit down with Chat on the internet, and we talk about the past and the future and why Chad decided to turn the lights back on at Teldragger RC. We also talk about some of the antiques in his room, and then he wants to ask me about a few guitars in my room. So it's pretty good chat. Be sure and check that out. Big congratulations to Chad. That's a big deal to decide to do such a thing, and good for the hobby. Support this guy. He's out there in Kentucky doing his thing. This is awesome. PGRC coverage. And I want to make sure it's Plain Fun RC went down and shot all these videos, and there is a plethora, a vast cornucopia of videos for you to check out. So be sure and go do that. We have more news. This is something TJ from Horizon pinged me, and he said, "Have you seen this video that I put together?" And let's see. I don't know if the audio is working or not, but this is a big, big Concord RC plane. Let's go full screen. Let's just see it leave the ground. So TJ shot tons and tons of footage, and he wanted to make sure I saw this. What are they passing out the drinks or something? Oh, the nail went up, the nose went up. We don't want to see that airplane on What the Heck Wednesday, but you can check the video out right here. And once again, just to tell you where I'm at a homepage, clicking this first circle, which is all, and you can go check this out. We'll go look for some other things, and we're going to get out of here because your cup of coffee is probably almost over. Each week, I hang out with Mike from Robart, and this last couple of weeks, we've been talking about micro retracts. So I just did a video minutes ago. It's sitting over here to the right. I'm going to have to upload it, but you can hang out with Mike and I, and we go over gear. Then we actually put it in our hands and we talk about all the functions of that gear, what the Allen wrenches do, all the information that you might need. So be sure and check out Robart. Click on that link. He and I were talking. He said that the winter months were coming and it was time to put together some indoor planes, and these retracts are perfect to put retracts on planes that don't actually come with retracts. They're affordable. They work off of servos. It's pretty cool gear. So be sure and check that out. Hey to Mike, good guy. Stuart from HobbyKing and I have been talking on the back channel, and here's a feature article about their back and gearing up and getting things ready. And Stuart has a video here. I often think I should interview Stuart, but really Stuart's videos are so good. I feel like how much better could I do? Stuart, if you're watching this, thanks for everything that you do for the hobby. I know your passion is gigantic, and I appreciate you. HobbyKing's been a sponsor of RC groups for years and years and years. So I appreciate that as well. I'm sure there's all kinds of news that'll be coming out of there. Jason's got a cool blog of the week, how to tile plans from your printer. It's not as easy as you might think. You can click right there. These cool trucks. I just saw a real one of these, I think, at a car show, but people were speculating that they were cut to be a four-door. But now that I see this model, I'm starting to think that what I saw was this truck. So that's interesting. This is, I'm going to end here and maybe do some more news later in the week. But this is an old friend of mine, Jim Martin. And, I've worked in the film business, the movie business. And one day I was flying and I happened to run into Jim Martin at our local airfield. And he said, "I want you to be our marketing person one day." And just interestingly enough, 4 weeks later, I was the marketing PR person at Hobby Lobby. And I just happened to land there as we got our first order of lithium polymer batteries from Kokum. And we had our outrunners from Axie. And really, these things didn't exist anywhere else. And Hobby Lobby was the first company to take electric components and make them really work on planes, on RC planes. Prior to this, it was all NiCads, and it was highly inefficient. Things didn't fly very long or fly very powerfully, and really everything changed. I just happened to be pulled in with Jim and Hobby Lobby when all of that changed. It was quite a ride. It was huge. And a lot of the things that I do today and lessons that I learned from Jim, and I use them every day at rcgroups.com. And by the way, Jim was one of the first guys in the hobby to want to advertise on RC Groups when many people laughed at the concept of advertising anything online. and Jim thought it was an interesting idea. I also happened to land right when that happened. And so a lot of the things that I actually work with on RC Groups right now as the admin are things that I helped create when I was a marketing guy at this store. So the point of the story is to say Jim Martin electrified the hobby. And while there were other greats and good minds who really supported RC, electric RC, Jim's the person who brought it to the masses, who just changed the way the hobby worked. And a lot of the things that we did together as and I say we, a company at Hobby Lobby, these things are still, the techniques and all the other things are still used by large companies today in this industry. And it all started with this little crew of people here in Nashville, Tennessee, and the ingenuity of Jim. And that is what this article is all about. I talk a little bit about that and show some pictures, but I also have an interview with Jim where we talk about the early days in the 60s and the 70s, and then electric flight in Europe and how that spurred bringing electric flight to America and Hobby Lobby and basically changing the hobby for all of us. If you fly an electric airplane today, I would say you probably owe a lot of gratitude to Jim Martin. So that's all I have to say. Be sure and read this. And I hope you appreciate what Jim did for you and the hobby and everyone out there. All right, everybody. I'm Jim T. Graham with RC Groups. Let me know if this little news segment helps you or is something that is cool for you. And I'll keep doing it. There's always news coming into my desk, and I'm always getting information early. And as long as it's okay to release it, I am going to release it. Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com. Hit subscribe, hit like, and if there's other buttons around, go ahead and hit those too.